So if you don't know what the Roth was, recently I opened up my Roth IRA. If you don't know what a Roth IRA is, it's basically an individual retirement account. It is basically a way for you to invest your income, your already taxed income, so that when you turn, I think it's 59 and a half, you can take out that money and it will not be taxed, as opposed to if you opened up a traditional IRA, which taxes all your income just as you're about to withdraw. The good thing about a Roth IRA, especially for people who are not making as much or who are still early in their career, is that you are most likely going to be in a lower tax bracket. So the taxes that are getting taken out right now would be a lot less than the taxes that will be taken out later on in your career when you're hopefully making a lot more. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a rundown. There are a few things that I feel as though you guys should know. This is for new time investors. Just things that are not as obvious as other things. It might be common sense to some, but for me, I literally had no idea. Like, I'm kind of just teaching myself this stuff as I go along. Keep in mind though, PSA, this is not for people who already know the ins and outs. I'm not exposing any secrets or anything, so if you already know this stuff, you're probably gonna be like, oh, this is common sense. So this is not for people who know. Yeah, but if you don't know, this is for you, because I did not know as well. I was in that same boat and now I just want to share my thoughts and yeah, things that may not be as obvious, from the outside looking in without having done your research. The first thing that you should probably know is that you can't just contribute any type of money into your Roth IRA. No, that money, it needs to be earned income, whether that's through self-employment or if you have an actual job. The money that you contribute has to be earned. You can't just put your savings in there. You can't just put the money that your parents just decided to give you. So the second thing that people don't usually tell you straight up or like flat out is that you have options as to what you want to invest in. So when you open up a Roth IRA, you don't simply just throw money in the Roth and leave it and it grows. Trust me, that's what I thought, but no, that's not how it works. You can have money in your Roth IRA account, but you need to take the extra step and actually invest in indices, ETFs, target date funds, or individual stocks. So you have a few options as to what you want to invest in. That's something you probably want to do a little bit more research about, because there are a few differences between these options. The third thing that you should probably know is that you need to decide unless you have a financial advisor or somebody who's there to inform you. It's very important that you have a plan, you know what you want to do after doing your research, and that you're going to stick to it. Are you going to be more of an active investor or are you going to be passive? Me, I'm going to be passive. I can't be stressing about, doing all that extra stuff. But you may want to, maximize the benefits and, play around more with your money, which is fine. But you should definitely go into this having an idea of what type of investor you want to be. So the fourth thing that they don't tell you is that I know they say you should be 18 or over to have a Roth, but you can actually have a custodial Roth IRA. People under 18 can have a Roth. If they have earned income, they just have to kind of be under a custodian, like a parent or some guardian, and they can start contributing, before you turn 18. But then it's what kids are actually thinking about contribute? What freaking 16-year-old is thinking about maxing out their Roth IRA? I would seriously like to know. But I mean, it's just good to know in case you are one of those 16-year-olds who has an interest in maxing it out. So the fifth thing that you should probably know is that there is a contribution limit. So you can only contribute a certain amount each year. From 2019 up until 2020, this year now that I'm filming this, the limit is $6,000, so you can only contribute $6,000 a year. But if you're over 50, you can contribute $7,000, and this number can change. I believe before 2019, the year before that, the limit was $5,500, and then for those over 50, it was $6,500. The sixth thing that they don't tell you when you open up your Roth and you start investing is that your money will grow, but it will also fluctuate. I know you're not really supposed to check your Roth IRA because this is something you're going to be holding on to for years. Your money will fluctuate. It's kind of like the stock market, how some days, you know, you're up and then the next day you're down. So it's not something you should get spooked by. You know, just be aware that this is long-term growth that we're talking about. So even if it goes up and down, it's like it goes up and down, but then gradually, you know, over time, over the years, it will, you know, it will grow like how you want it to. So don't even, it's not something that you should stress about if your money is down one day. So when you're trying to figure out where you want to open up your Roth IRA account, and when you're trying to figure out which mutual funds or which stocks or indices you want to invest in, you should always be aware of those little fees, those hidden fees that seem pretty small. They do vary, so it's best to open up your Roth, you know, and invest with as little fees as possible. Your future self will thank you. So I was editing this video and then I all of a sudden thought of one more thing that I forgot to mention, and that is that there is no right or wrong way. There's no one right or wrong way to invest in your Roth, and this goes for investing as a whole. Everybody will have their own different like way that they want to do it. So if your way is different, if you want to do it a certain way but you're worried that, you know, other people aren't doing it like you, just remember that, like, as long as it makes sense to you, as long as you see a vision for it and you did your research and it makes sense to you, then you should be fine. Hopefully you took something from this. I just felt like, you know, I just discovered these things. Why not, like, just talk about it? Because I don't know, I don't really see other people talking about it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys next time.